Hello there, welcome back to another fragrance review, and today we're going to talk about a very beautiful fragrance from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, and this is also a popular dupe of a very nice clubbing fragrance from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. I'm talking about the Ultra Male dupe. Today we are going to talk about this beautiful fragrance from Ahmed Al Maghribi called as O'Clock. Okay, now it's a very weird kind of a name. I'm not a big fan of the name itself, but the fragrance itself is pretty interesting, and we will also compare this with the most popular clone out there for Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, which is the Afnan 9PM, and we'll also compare it with the original that is there. I have a decant of that as well. So we'll do all of that and tell you, is it still worth buying Afnan 9PM, or should you consider getting Ahmed O'Clock, or what should you do if you're looking for a dupe of Ultra Male from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. Alright, so you're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, welcome back, and very quickly let me show you the presentation of this particular fragrance. These are not two different boxes. Surprisingly, this is the outer sleeve of this particular fragrance. It kind of, you get this outer sleeve which talks about O'Clock, and then it's a, there's a hologram and all of that information. So this is how the bottle looks. So this is a 40% volume. That means it's got 60% of concentration, which is very high. So if you look at this bottle, the box is like this. It's a very nice looking box, pretty hard, sturdy, very good for gifting. It's a sleeve that kind of sort of looks like this, and you will find a fragrance that kind of is like this. It's a very beautiful opaque white colored bottle, okay, frosted bottle, very nice. And the cap is interestingly got a very nice design element here, which is quite unique. I wish they had done something about the name of this particular fragrance, because it sounds pretty peculiar when you think about it calling O'Clock, right? So it should have been at least 12 o'clock or something like that, but otherwise, yes, it's a pretty good fragrance. I've had this for maybe more than a month now, easily. Yeah, somewhere mid-December is when I kind of got this particular fragrance from a colleague, who kind of had this particular partial. And I will add this onto decants if you want to definitely try this particular fragrance. Okay, now I keep using the word particular, and somebody has made me realize it, but I will try and not to use it so much. But some things are difficult to let go by. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the fragrance. Okay, so the bottle is very nice. Like I said, it's a 40% volume, so it's a 60% concentration. The sprayer is an atomized, pressurized atomizer. Very nice, and you will see that it leaves actually a pretty good stain on the hand. Okay, because the oil concentration is very high. It is a very loud beast mode type of a fragrance. It is pretty loud as such, but again, the Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male is also just like that. So it's a very loud DNA by itself. So it's not a big surprise that this particular fragrance is loud. Okay, now what do you get? Okay, it's a sweet fragrance. It's a sweet bubblegummy type of a fragrance that opens with a lot of fruity notes, like you have apple, you have a little bit of a floral notes like lily of the valley, but then there's a lot of amber, vanilla and musk kind of a thing. The biggest thing is the citrusy apple kind of a vibe, which gives it a fizzy, bubblegummy, sweet, lovely opening, which is one of the most beautiful openings of a fragrance, where you can actually enjoy this entire beautiful chewing gum, bubblegummy type of a vibe, which is absolutely beautiful. Now the apple is actually supported by another sweet component, which is basically cinnamon. Now the cinnamon and a little bit of those citrus elements which are there, like a bergamot, but the cinnamon is what the main component here is. The cinnamon and the apple bring that nice fruity sweet vibe, which is what gives that bubblegummy vibe as well, which makes you feel like as if you've got a very beautiful sweet type of a bubblegummy thing, which is actually very interesting. Now the opening is very nice. There's also a little bit of that fizzy kind of a vibe, like a bubbly, sparkling kind of a vibe as well, especially like if you open a Sprite bottle and you have that bubbly smell along with a little bit of sweetness. That's the kind of sweetness or bubbly effect that you can think about as well. Overall, it smells very beautiful. For me, this particular this fragrance is a lot more linear in its scent profile, because I feel it is linear in terms of how it opens up, and then it kind of gradually gets into the same DNA all throughout it lasts. But then there are other elements like patchouli, which are not so very prominent on this fragrance, but the component of vanilla also is pretty decent. Okay, now the word I use decent is because something that I will talk to you about a little later. Overall, it's a very, very nice scent. Okay, pretty good when you compare if you think about a Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male fragrance. Now in terms of its performance, like I said, it's a loud beast mode kind of a fragrance. So if you do a few sprays, it actually projects for about 2 to 3 feet, and for me the performance has been about 7-8 hours you will easily get. I've worn this even in Goa, I've worn this in Mangalore as well. So for the weddings, for the evenings, for those occasions, I did use this primarily. But it is a really nice fragrance in terms of lasting. Obviously with 60% of concentration, you should expect nothing less. Okay, now I've had a Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male decant for some time. It's a small 5 ml decant that I've had for a real long time, and I wanted to compare 9PM as such, but then I've always not gone ahead and done that. Now in this case, I went ahead and tested this against the decant, and what I can tell you in terms of the scent profile of Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male is that the Ultra Male also has got a similar apple cinnamon type of an opening, definitely. Okay, no doubt about it. It's got that beautiful element of that plum sweet cinnamon type of an opening, but then it transitions very quickly into the vanilla patchouli woody kind of a dry down. And the best part is the vanilla on the original is so good that it is seductively pleasant, and it's something that you want to keep sniffing continuously. And that's why the dry down of Ultra Male is one of the most beautiful dry downs that you can smell, where you will absolutely get a fantastic woody creamy vanilla type of a dry down that is absolutely gorgeous. Now the vanilla is actually supported very well by a little bit of that tonka bean, so you have that slight coffee type of a vibe as well that you get, which is from the tonka beans. And there is also, because of the lily of the valley, it gives that nice floral sharp type of a soothing calmness to this entire fragrance, and you enjoy this dry down of Ultra Male absolutely beautiful. Now coming to the third part of this video. Now I have also had the Afnan 9PM. I've had a decant of this for about 20 ml for a long time. Somehow I feel we should get the bottle as well, and I think it's a good time to get this one now. The Afnan 9PM also has got a very nice opening. Okay, the apple cinnamon elements remain same. The fizzy part of it is not so much, but you do get the same bubblegummy vibe. This is also crazy loud, loud in terms of projection. Now the primary difference that I found is of the two fragrances, especially when you compare O'Clock along with the 9PM, is that in terms of lasting, in terms of projection, all of those scent profiles, it's almost the same. Like I said, this is the O'Clock has got a little bit more of that fizzy sparkling vibe, whereas this leans a little more towards the cinnamon vibe, and that's what I kind of felt. But the primary difference of both of these fragrances, and where I feel it falls short of the Ultra Male OG, is the dry down. Okay, while the woody dry down, the vanilla dry down in the original is superb, if you take that as 100%, I think Afnan's 9PM captures that to a good extent. You get a good 60% of vanilla dry down here. Now in this case, the dry down is only about 30-40%. That means to say that the O'Clock lacks in one department is in the vanilla dry down. Okay, you do get a sense of vanilla, no doubt about that. You do get a sense of vanilla in the dry down, but it is not as vanilla as much as how the OG is, or is it? It is also not as much as vanilla as the 9PM from Afnan is. Okay, so that is what I kind of primarily found as a difference. Now if you look at this particular list of fragrances, I have not included Dumont Green, okay, Nitro Green, because although Nitro Green has got a similar DNA of this, but I feel it has got a little more of the La Parfum, La Male La Parfum DNA as well. So if I were to purely talk about the two big contenders when it comes to Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, which is absolutely the Afnan 9PM, which has been ruling so far, and now with Ahmed O'Clock, where you can expect a lot of people go towards this fragrance, the primary difference, or the only difference, there are two differences that I will reiterate again. This has got a little bit more of that sparkling bubbly vibe. This one, Afnan 9PM, leans a little bit more towards the cinnamon. Both of them have got less of the vanilla DNA that you would want, which is there in the OG. The Definitely 9 p.m. has got a little bit more of the vanilla. The lowest of vanilla that you will find is in the Ahmed Al Clock. Okay, so what should you consider getting? Okay, so today if I were to spend 2,700 rupees roughly for Ahmed Al Clock, and if I were to spend about the same type of money or maybe a couple of hundred rupees less for Afnan 9 p.m., between the two, I would definitely pick up Afnan 9 p.m. as a much better scent than Ahmed Al Clock. Okay, now while no doubt Ahmed Al Clock is a very nice scent, but it still leans a little bit more towards the fruity grapefruit type of a vibe more than anything. I feel the Afnan 9 p.m. leans in a more balanced way, leans a lot more towards the cinnamon, apple fruitiness, and then it kind of gets into that vanilla, lily of the valley kind of thing. But both of them don't justify on the actual beautiful dry down that you get in the OG. All right. So if you're not able to afford the OG, then definitely go for the Afnan 9 p.m. But if you're able to, then you should consider getting the original itself, which is absolutely fantastic. All right. Now, what kind of a fragrance is this? This is definitely a party fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that you can comfortably wear for any party, get-togethers where you want to be the center of attraction, where people will want to compliment you. You want a loud, projecting, mass-pleasing scent which is going to get you compliments, then yes, this DNA works absolutely fantastic for those things. It's a very unisex fragrance. Even if girls wear it, even if men wear it, you can easily pull it off as one of the nicest party fragrances that you can consider, right? So that is what I thought about Ahmed Al Clock and Afnan's 9 p.m. And when I compare between the two, I feel you should consider Afnan 9 p.m. as a good bet for ultra male as such. And if you kind of like the video, please definitely hit the like button, subscribe and share, and I'll see you on another one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.